Welcome to the demonstration of the ED-916, which is a semi-annual program outputs questionnaire. In this demonstration, you will Economic Development District might complete one of these questionnaires. We'll walk through this for a sample grantee and provide helpful hints and clarifications along the way. All right, Sharon, thank you so much for joining us. You can go ahead and complete the questionnaire.
Thanks, Bernadette.
So on this page, this is the home page. There's some helpful information about what you should expect as you go through. Just some reminders that not all categories of questions will apply to you. And you're just going to be selecting the categories that are applicable. So you can move forward by clicking that forward arrow at the bottom.
Sounds good. Okay.
So first you enter your EDA grant number, and then you can scroll down and select the target beneficiary or beneficiaries of this grant. You can select as many as are applicable.
So are you using an old award number, or should we use a new award number?
Any award number, whichever is the award number applicable to this particular award.
Okay, so let's try. Okay.
So in this case, that would mean that you have no beneficiaries. You're just kind of supporting yourself and increasing your own capacity.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, so next.
And here, if you did not, you just click no and move right along. The reason we have this question here is because the Capital Challenge grantees have their own set of questions.
Sound good?
All right, so here's all the various categories of questions that exist for this questionnaire. As we said before, not all of them are applicable, so you can just go ahead and start with whatever category is most applicable to you and that you think you have most of the data for, and we can skip around from there.
Oh, okay. Okay, this would be good. Is training a part of this?
Yeah, so any of these can be considered a form of training. If you want to be more precise, you can always say other.
Oops. Let's just leave that. Okay.
So in this case, if there were a certain set of grantees or a certain set of participants that attended all of your events, you would want to make sure that you're only counting the unique participants so you don't double count people. So we're just referring to unique participants for this question, and then the following question is total participants across all events.
Okay, so this would apply to, let's say, for example, if there was an SBA training, then you would have the unique person would be the SBA instructor.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say four. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I'll check. Let's go with this. Okay. I'm going to go with all this and say okay. Oh my goodness. This becomes interesting. I'm going to.
And Sharon, as you're completing this, I think it's good to note that grantees will have a month to respond to the questionnaire and submit. And while taking the questionnaire, if you stumble upon a question that you may not have the data on hand,
Yes.
or you can just go to another category of outcome and then fill that out if you have those answers. So whatever category of outcome is relevant to your scope of work, you can just go to that category, answer those questions. And if you're in another category and you stumble upon a question that you don't have the data on hand for, then you can move around. So it's been made to be really flexible. You will obviously have to come back and answer those questions that you haven't completed, but you're not stuck on any part of this questionnaire just because you don't have the answers at that moment.
Okay. That's very helpful because the where am I going? Hang on a second. I can tell it. Ooh.
Yep. You can go back.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can go back and make changes to any of the data that you've entered.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. So research and development, no. No. Nope. Yes.
And Sharon, while you're here, if you want to click on those 3 horizontal lines at the top there, that brings up all of the categories of outputs. So you can see the different categories, you can move around, you can also see the progress that you've made within a category. So obviously if it's checked, you've completed it. So that's useful in terms of functionality and being able to answer whatever is you have data for right now.
That's excellent. No, seriously, that's really a good design. Okay. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, I'm not sure you're clicking on the actual.
Okay, so I'm doing this on purpose because what I can see the grant recipient going back and checking their own data, which is exactly what I'm doing. Checking a report to see how I can include some information.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just say, oh, that's 12. No. Okay. Oh, this is not applicable. So this allows me to go back at some point and fix all of these, correct? If I
Correct.
was the grant recipient.
Before you've submitted it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 0 boot camps. I got that somewhere. Ooh. For beneficiaries, do they have to be some signed letter of engagement?
They don't have to be the signed letters at time of application, but as long as they meet the definition of a beneficiary where they have directly benefited from this EDA award, that is preferable.
Okay, this is a hard question. How do you save and go back to this?
So you can move around to another category right now. I think for this demonstration, we'll continue going through and go to submission. But for grantees who need to pause and gather some more data and come back, Aminata, can you provide any clarity on how they might do that? How do they get back into the questionnaire once they've exited?
So you can just click back on the link that we sent to you, and it should save all of your responses as you're taking the survey, and then you can move around to whatever category as you please and make whatever changes are necessary to your data.
Great.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Is there an explanation for all of these activities? Product development, value chain analysis, e-commerce entry or expansion?
On the questionnaire?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I'm going to put that. Just because. Let's see one. Yes.
Yes, if there's anything that you worked on that's not listed, you can specify for us so we can have that information.
Let's see.
This, as you can see, this is a really exhaustive list.
It is.
But, you know, if there's something that we didn't capture, you should leave that down in the other box.
Okay. So let's just say oh, I know. This was great. Okay. We'll say 3. Mm. 0. Hmm. I'm gonna go back one. So on when they asked, did you host outreach events? And I'm gonna say yes. And how many participants? Does this question apply to board members and community? Do you know? What do you think?
I think this would participants in terms of who was there to benefit from the services that you were providing in terms of the outreach programs that you did. So if board members, I wouldn't think so, but community and other, so.
Okay, because it's super helpful because some of these meetings, unless they're not, they're driven by board participation and county or community networking. So this question is going to have to be I'm going to leave it as 20 just because it's a demo. Okay. Yes. It's a yes. Fine. Okay, let's do 6. Okay. When you ask how many participating jurisdictions, oh, this refers to the SEDS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just a number in this case.
Well,
just a count.
Okay, we're going to. I'm going to do something here and show something.
I think we can only see the Qualtrics screen at the moment, but for the purposes of the demo, I think we can just put in whatever number and move forward.
And just move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can tell you, looking at some of these things, I will just put 2. Since we're demoing, okay. Yes. So let me just keep going quickly. I can see this taking quite a bit of time.
Yeah, depending on the grantee, there may be more categories that are applicable to them. So it's important to be aware of these questions and categories ahead of time.
Yes.
Okay, so as you can see, you're at the end. If there were any questions under facilities and equipment that were relevant to you, you could go back and complete that. If you know that there aren't any, you can just move forward to the end of the questionnaire.
So you would click the forward arrow.
Okay.
And here we're just asking some location-specific questions. So if you have tract numbers, FIPS codes, we'd appreciate that information.
No, I don't have it. So I go now. I can see this quickly. Or why couldn't I just put the county location in there? Can I do that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As specific of geographic information as you can provide is what we would appreciate for this. Absolutely.
Okay, that's okay.
And here,
go ahead, Bernadette.
Here's just a list of tools that EDA has developed through other partnerships, and we're interested in knowing if anyone is using them or if there's other tools that you've used. So there is an other box to provide any other tools that grantees have used to assess their impact or their progress. If you're not familiar with one of these tools, you can click on the link to open it up. Otherwise, if you know which tools you've used, just click on the gray box or not applicable or whatever is relevant.
Okay. I'm just going to go not applicable for a reason, because this is a demo.
And lastly, we have space to provide any success stories or any other progress or reporting that grantees would like to provide if it hasn't already been covered in the questionnaire. This is entirely optional, but absolutely welcome information for us.
Okay, so I would like to report a success.
Wonderful.
Agribusiness development. Which local okay.
All right, you have reached the end of the questionnaire. There's a thank you message here that your response has been recorded. If you're interested in downloading the PDF of your responses for your own records, you can do that at this time. Otherwise, you can just X out and we are done with the demo. Thank you very much.
You're most